All right, what it do, everybody? It's your boy LOG from Where There's Smoke here with another video review, and this time we're here to do episode 2 of the Acolyte. Just gonna jump right in on this episode. From the start, we're following May, and as the audience, we pretty much already know the difference between Osha and May, but I guess the Jedi are still kind of trying to figure it out. But anyway, May goes in to assassinate her second Jedi on her list, Jedi Master Torben, and she gets in there and she uses this line again: "Attack me with all your strength," which is kind of like just getting to be an old and weird declaration at this point. And then so she tries to attack him, but he's meditating and levitating in midair, and he has a force field around him. So none of her attacks are getting through on him. She's kind of like, getting flustered. She's there for about maybe 30 seconds or so, and because she's kind of had to sneak in to get to him. So she's there attacking him and everything, and then like other Jedi hear, something going on, so they come in the room. She has to like flee out the little moon roof or whatever. Overall, I did like the opening scene. I like how they had the little pop out droid that's like, monitoring the door that they had to like distract and get by. And I like how she escaped by force jumping out the moon roof. So overall, I like the opening scene. I know some people are getting upset with the cheesiness and stuff. So, you know, but in the first scene, there really wasn't too much of that. So then you have the second scene. It's back in the Jedi spaceship with Master Soul, Jedi Yord, and his apprentice, and May. They're all still trying to figure out. Everyone other than Soul really is still trying to figure out if they can trust May. Uh, and then Jedi Master Venestra gets in contact via the little telecom or however they have it, like the little live video chat, that there's been another crime committed while they've had May under their watch. So it kind of clears her name, and they get into that. And then the next scene, it cuts, and excuse me, I said May on when I was talking, but I meant Osha with the Jedi. Then you flip to the next scene, and May is meeting up with the character we are introduced to first, and his name is, I believe, Komir is how it's pronounced, and that's the guy that she like goes to, and she's like talking to about her missions and telling that it like failed, and he's like, "Oh, I've been waiting on you," blah blah blah. They kind of catch up, but then ultimately the highlight of their meeting is she kind of divulges more about her master and how he wants to get clean kills, and then she also gets a poison which she thinks is going to be something that she really needs to kill Jedi Master Torben. So they kind of talk about that. She gets some advice from him, and that's kind of the third little scene there. So when Master Venestra checked in with Grandmaster Soul and like told them about the other little incident that was going on that cleared Osha's name, they were sent to check that out. So they go there to the temple. They're talking with the guy. They go in to check on Grandmaster Torben and ask him what happened and kind of get some more details on it. And actually, May is back there to try to attempt her second assassination attempt at the time that they're there, which is a funny coincidence, but it actually is something that makes for like a good TV. So I don't mind it. Um, and then they go in, and as she's like trying to perform the assassination, they're like on their way in. So it, as I said, it makes for good TV. And at some point, Osha splits off from the main group, and Jedi Yard, or Yord rather, sees her and follows her, which comes into detail later at the end of the scene to like kind of clear her name as that she's not the one that did anything. And while the Jedi are like kind of making their way to the main room where Jedi Torben is, May is like, I guess, in the act of quote unquote committing the assassination, but she's like basically talks Torben through lowering his shield and taking the poison, which I think is a lot where a lot of people start to have a problem with this show. And a lot of people are wondering, like, why would he not have lowered his shield and just let her kill him the first time? Like, why is he more why is there a change of heart, and why is he more willing to kill himself via poison rather than just let her assassinate him? I don't really get it. Like, if he's been meditating and thinking about this issue for like a long time, I don't think 1 or 2 days is going to change his mind that drastically. I could be wrong, but I just think this is one of the little plot holes that like people are not really willing to overlook as much. I think, and I was talking with a friend about this, about Star Wars and just TV in general. Like, when we have good shows or series that we love, we tend to overlook little things sometimes that are not really accurate as they could be, or like little like plot holes or what have you. But I think this is one where it really just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't serve to make the show any better doing it this way. So I think we're all just kind of asking like, why is did this happen? And it's so blatant and in our face that we're all wondering about it. Um, so anyway, she gets him to lower his shield. He takes the poison, and then she escapes. And May somehow, or excuse me, Osha somehow is the first one out of all the protagonists to get to the room. So then when the Jedi and the little apprentice get there, they're like quick to think that maybe she's the one that has done this. Luckily, Yord followed her the whole time and like clears her name, which I think was kind of a cool little twist where they could come together and build trust. And now like Osha is like firmly on the side of the good guys at this point. So after this, a little bit more of the cheese ensues where the Jedi are like spying on Quimir, and he just happens to be like kind of doing his little hideout thing right across from where the Jedi temple is, which I don't think much thought or like creativity was put into. But anyway, they're plotting on him, and they disguise Osha to go in there as May and talk to him and get him to confess to making the poison and to see maybe what their next plan is. So they send May in there. She gets a little info. It's like super odd and like it's cheesy TV, but he could have easily found out that that wasn't May just based off of like how cheesy she was acting. So anyway, that happens, and then the Jedi kind of come in and like strong arm him, and it kind of breaks their cover anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And they get information out of him. And then after that, May comes back. They all ambush her based off of like waiting and camping her out. And May and Jedi Master Soul have like a little battle where it seems he's kind of like toying with her. He like easily disarms all her daggers and everything. They have a little showdown. She ends up throwing a bunch of dust to escape, and then that was kind of the fight scene was kind of like fun to watch, but not a lot of like actual stuff happen. But then at the end, you see Quimir and May escaping to go take out their next target. So ultimately, she was not successful in killing Soul, which I think is one of the people on her list, which she mentions to Quimir. She has a list of four. But she did kill Torben, so she's killed two of her four Jedi, and now they escape to go kill the Wookiee Jedi, which it teases at the end. And then it shows that Jedi Master Soul is eager to pursue May with Yord and his apprentice and Osha, but he gets in contact with Jedi Master Venestra, and she's like, "No, you can't just do this without the Council." So it's one of these things where Jedi politics and bureaucracy gets in the way sometimes of what certain individuals think is like the right action to pursue at the time. And he could be right, he could be wrong, he could be running into a trap. So Soul's eager to pursue, and then Venestra is calling him back. And this is one of those things where like it's kind of interesting, and everyone can just debate like what's the right move, what's going on as far as him getting called back. Are we going to get other characters introduced that are interesting? And that's one of those things I don't mind as far as like not necessarily a plot hole or anything like that, but just kind of one of these things where it's nothing we can complain about, but it's just like adds a little bit of extra juice at the end, because he could just be eager in pursuit of May, and that would be super obvious and plain Jane. But now it's almost giving her a head start to go attack this other Jedi. So overall, not a bad episode. It had a few cheesy moments with Torben taking the potion, and then with Quimir being like right across from the Jedi Temple. But I've heard a lot of people really have a problem with episode 3, which I should be reviewing within the next day or two. I haven't seen it yet, so hopefully it's good. I have high hopes for this series. I did see that it's going to be 8 episodes. I had thought maybe it would be 6, but with 8 episodes, they can do quite a bit, and hopefully it'll get 2 or 3 seasons so they can really explore some other, like, anti-hero Sith mythos. But I heard episode 3 was disappointing, so I just hope they kind of stray away from that and they don't let that be the defining moment of the series. But that's kind of the review for episode 2. Y'all let me know what y'all are thinking of the series so far, your favorite characters, your favorite moments, battles, or like plot loopholes, plot lines, whatever you're liking, disliking. Let me know, y'all. Get in the comments and let me know what y'all are thinking. Overall, I kind of like it. I like anything Star Wars. I'm willing to overlook small, you know, things that aren't like the best, like, plot holes and stuff. But it has to make sense overall, and it has to be badass overall. If it's just full of like things that don't make sense and weird scenarios, I'm gonna be right along with everyone else calling it out. So I feel like they definitely could have put more thought into Quamir's like hiding spot, and I definitely feel like I don't know, the guy taking the poison, it's 50-50, but I just some people are not buying it. So I'm gonna have to wait and see. That was not enough for me to tear down the whole series, but I'm gonna have to wait and see how episode 3 goes. So, y'all get at me, let me know what y'all think, and I guess until episode 3, that's LOG from Where There's Smoke. I'm out.